we're going to be doing 30 minutes of yin and then 40 minutes of yoga nidra. So you can either set yourself up so you've got a bed next to you or something like that, where you can jump onto the bed if you feel more comfortable with that, or make sure you've got like pillows, cushions, a thick mat, anything that will help you really relax and feel comfortable. Maybe an iron mask as well would be nice. Okay, so welcome. Thanks for joining me. It's really nice to be able to end the bank holiday weekend with a bit of a draw back inwards and some time to really rest. Yeah, just coming back to the thought of when we've got a bit of time off, sometimes we're always thinking, okay, well, I've got a bank holiday, so I'm going to go and do something, or I'm going to go somewhere. And it's really nice to finish that time with just coming back inward and really drawing all your energies back in together and just kind of close off a time and bring that energy back inward, because we're always outputting, output. So it's nice to take the time to really drop in. And yoga nidra is an amazing way of deeply and completely resting the body. So often we think of rest as being sitting down and watching the telly or reading a book, but we're still using our senses. We're still in the kind of output way. We're still looking at something, we're still using the eyes. So this is still using up energy. But when we can lay down, rest, let the body completely relax, and we go through to systematically rest each body part, that's when we start to move very, very deeply into the parasympathetic nervous system. And that's when we start to see big shifts into a dropping down in the nervous system, a dropping down in the mental patterns, the mental formations. And most importantly, with yoga nidra, we can start to set, I've called it a sankalpa before, but it's an intention or an affirmation. And where we're working very deeply in the subconscious mind, this goes so deep into our belief systems, into our programming, that we can really, really start to see big shifts and changes in our everyday life, where we set an intention and we allow it to drop into a completely rested body. So I'm going to bring the idea of intention to this class, but also momentum. So we're working in the yin practice today to build and balance the vayus, which are the winds of the body. So we have 5 different winds. We've actually got 10 different vayus, but 5 major, and I'll explain a little bit more as we go through. But as we move these winds in the body and we put them into their balanced state, then we can start to really move up into the higher mind, into meditation and deeper states of meditation where the body is completely balanced. So that's the aim for the yin practice, and then we can move also into the nidra with a very, very calm, spaced body and an open spaced mind to really set a strong intention. So I'm just going to get you to take a seat wherever you are. Just find a comfortable seat. Just taking a few moments to really drop in and take a few rounds of breath to really start settling and grounding before we start the practice. So just find a comfortable seat. Bring your sit bones grounded into the earth, so 2 bony points in the center of the glutes. Maybe like to lift your hips up just for a moment, just to create a little bit more breathing space in the pelvis, the abdomen. And start to close down through the eyes. Allow yourself to become aware of where your starting point is. So noticing how the physical body is feeling today. Just quickly checking in through a scan from the head to the feet. Notice if there's any areas that are sending signals or sensations to you. Not judging, but becoming aware. Dropping into the observer. And then moving into the more slightly subtler, into the breath, noticing how the breath is moving in your body. So is it more shallow in the upper chest? Is it feeling more in the belly, or maybe even the ribs or the back body? Notice the rhythm or the pace of your breath. Is it slow or quick? Does it feel restricted or does it feel very fluid and expansive? Again, not trying to change, but just observing. And moving slightly more subtler into the mental and emotional bodies. So moving a little bit further away from the body and tuning into the energy around you. What are you feeling today? How has the emotional body been? Quite balanced and stable, at ease? Or have you felt any panic, anxiety, stress? Maybe even sensations like anger, frustration. Just tuning into how you felt today. And awareness into the mental body. Awareness of thoughts. Are you feeling quite present today? Have you been thinking about the future, the past? Maybe going round and round in loops, or thinking about to-do lists, things to achieve? How has the mind been today? Noticing the words that you've used with yourself or with others. And then just bringing your mind into your heart space. And taking a moment to really just drop into this energetic field right in the center of the heart. So the spiritual heart more than the physical. And acknowledging how this area of the body around the heart center, the heart space, is feeling. And we can start to send the breath into this heart center, just enlivening this area of the body, bringing our awareness to the prana here. So when we work with intention, we really allow ourselves to set a goalpost, to set something to work towards, to bring something into manifestation. Intention can be very complex, or it can be super simple. It just depends what it is that we want to achieve, or we want to bring into our lives, we want to experience or feel. So I'm inviting you now to take a moment to just let yourself rest in the heart space and become aware of an intention that naturally starts to arise as you bring the idea of forming an intention into your heart center. Again, not judging, just allowing whatever it is to arise. It could be an image, it could be a word, it could be something very specific, but just take a moment to start to tune in to what could be your intention for later. So we'll come back to that intention later to really solidify it into our practice. And now we can start to gently blink the eyes open, and we'll move into our first position, which is going to be child's pose. So we're going to be in each shape for around 4 to 5 minutes. So make sure that you're really comfortable and set up. So you might want to use some cushions or some pillows, maybe a bolster in front of you. If you sit back to the heels, take the knees apart, and then you can bring either a bolster or a cushion ahead of you, and you can rest the body over it so you feel nice and rested and relaxed. We're working to compress into the lower belly. If it feels more comfortable for you to work without any props, you can also do that. Maybe it feels nice to take the knees together, and you can even work to bring your hands back towards your feet. So we feel a bit more rested through the shoulders. After around 7 p.m., the blood pressure starts to drop. So if your head is lower than your heart, it might feel a little bit intense in your head. So maybe also you'd like to bring a brick or some books to rest your forehead onto. And if you're working with anything in the knees, you can always bring a blanket behind the backs of the knees or underneath the knees, just to add a bit more support. So find whichever position feels good, just making any final adjustments that you might need to. And then you can move into a space of complete stillness. So when we find this steadiness, this ease, this stillness in our yoga practice, this is starting to build into the mental body too. So wherever we're directing the body, our prana, our breath, we're also directing this into the mind. So this is a really, really good way of working to change the mind. When we start to work with something more dense like the body, then this in turn starts to shape the subtlety of the mind. So creating that sensation of stillness, of calmness, of not having to move, flinch, fidget, we can really start to hold space for ourselves. We really hold that steady pace of mind, of thoughts when different situations arise to challenge us. In yoga, a challenge or the heat of the posture is called tapas. And we want to really start to build that sensation of tapas into the body through different positions, different shapes, and holding, staying steady and firm in the shape. And this is when we start to find liberation in the mind. So just coming back to the vayus, the winds, there are 10 in total, and 5 of the minor are to do with things like blinking, eyes moving, swallowing, and the 5 major are different flows of energy in the body. So the first one we're working on is Apana Vayu. Apana Vayu works on a downward movement of energy. So this is to do with elimination, releasing, letting go. So this is both in the body and the mind. And it really works in the root center and with forward folds. So where we're compressed in the abdomen, but still breathing into the belly, we're allowing that Apana Vayu to move downward, move the energy down in the body. So forward folds are a really good way of allowing us to find elimination, letting go, releasing. So we're just here for around another minute and a half. In Yin, as always, we always want to feel that we're working to our edge. So this could be an edge mentally, could be an edge physically, could be a combination of the both. And an edge is somewhere where we've pushed to the limit and we can still hold a steady, calm breath. We can still hold that challenge, but we're not working into any pain or any complete discomfort. It's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable where we're igniting that tapas. But if you do need to come out, if you do need to modify a shift, please always do. We're just taking 2 or 3 more rounds of breath here. And then we can prepare ourselves to come out of the shape. So finish the next round of breath that you're on. And with your next inhale, you can slowly start to come back with the hands, bring them underneath the shoulders, and gently lift yourself up. Just come to sit back onto the heels for a moment and pause. Just finding reintegration, finding length in the spine, and just receiving the shape. So in this rebound phase, this is a really nice place to watch the shifts and changes in the mind, in the body. So always allow yourself to come in and out of this transition very slowly, mindfully, and take your time in the rebound to really feel what's going on, what's changing, if there's any shifts, if anything is really speaking to you, and also how it felt to come out of the shape. Did you want to rush out? Or did you feel quite happy to come out slowly? When we can feel that we're rushing out of the shape, sometimes it's we've really pushed ourselves a little bit too far. So it's interesting to watch that as well. So we're going to work in a twist, either from hero, Vajrasana, with sitting back onto your heels, or you can come into a cross-legged position, just easy pose. If it feels more comfortable for you to grab a brick, you can bring the brick in between the feet and then you can sit back onto the brick. And again, you might also want to bring a blanket just to give you a little bit of extra height. So just find which is most comfortable for you. Nice, I'm going to mirror you. So we're going to twist to the left to begin with. So just finding a tall spine, find a comfortable seat, either sitting onto the shins or cross-legged. Take an inhale, lengthen up the spine. And as you exhale, you can bring your hand to the right hand to the left knee, and left hand is going just behind you to act as a post. If it's a little bit too far to reach behind, just bring something to rest your hand onto. And then take another inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, you can turn a little bit deeper from the navel. So you can either stay here or you can start to bring your backhand round to the top of the thigh. So you're taking a slight bind with the arm. And we want to keep either chin in line with chest, if that's okay with the neck, or you can start to look over your back shoulder. Send a nice deep breath into the abdomen and start to close down through the eyes, just drawing your awareness inward. As we move into our second vayu, which is samana. So samana vayu is primarily targeted by twisting, and it's a very balancing, equalizing wind in the body. So when we find the sensation of samana, we feel very balanced, mentally, physically, emotionally. It's also linking in with inwardly drawing, digestion and assimilation in all areas. So how do we take the external world in? How do we process it? How do we take what's necessary? And how do we discard what isn't? So twists really help us with that on a physical level, which then in turn affects mental, emotional. So this is directly around the navel area and our sensation of power, sensation of confidence, self-trust. So just here for around 45 seconds more. Taking a final round of breath here. And on your next inhale, slowly de-rotate, come back through to center, looking round to the front, then pause in center, just find balance. Realign the spine, lengthen into the crown of the head. Take an inhale, bring your right fingertips behind you this time, and as you exhale, left fingertips are going to go to the right knee. Take an inhale, lengthen up through the spine. And as you exhale, see if you can turn a little bit deeper from the navel point. You can look over the back shoulder or keep the chin in line with the chest, whatever is good for your neck. Closing down through the eyes, allow your breath to fill up again into the navel point. Nice deep belly rest. Just here for around a minute and a half. Just taking your last round of breath here. On your next inhale, look forward, slowly de-rotate, come through to center and pause here for your exhale. Feel the effects of samana on the mind, that sensation of balance, being able to assimilate, to let go, and nice strong power through the navel, through the center of the body. So from here, if you want to take a little stretch out through the legs, you might want to come into a tabletop or a downward facing dog and just take a little pedal out through the legs. If you feel okay and you don't need to do that, we're going to come onto our backs for bridge in the next pose. So just come in to lay down onto your back. You might want to use some props here, because we're going to be here for around 4 minutes. So I'd probably recommend grabbing either 2 bricks and stack up the bricks, or you could use a bolster or some cushions, a few stacked cushions. So when you're ready, just come into the middle of your mat, bring your feet about hip width apart. You can either hold onto the backs of the thighs, or if you want to add a little bit of core strengthening in, you can bring your hands in line with the shoulders. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, lengthen the spine up. And as you exhale, keep chin tucking towards the chest and allow yourself to roll slowly down to the floor. Keep the core nice and tight until you make your way down, giving the spine a nice stretch as well. Walk your feet a little bit closer in towards you. Shuffle your tailbone and shoulder blades down the back, so you get a nice flattening of the spine into the mat. And then we can use some bricks underneath the hips, so just keep them close, or your cushions. Going to push into the feet, lift up the hips, push into the arms, and then come right up into the tops of the shoulders, so you're up as high as you can through the spine. Then we can slide the cushion or the bricks underneath your sacrum. So that's that nice flat bony part right at the bottom of your spine, at the top of the glutes. Once you're here, we can find a space to rest. So you can either take your arms out to the side, maybe
keeping them rested down beside the hips or where the hips were is good for you. Or if you want to work to bring a little bit more of circulation into the lung meridian and heart meridian lines, we can bring the arms up over the head and just rest them down to the floor. Make sure your arms are completely rested. Then we're going to be here for around 4 or 5 minutes. So just allow yourself to find a comfortable space to rest the feet, rest the shoulders. Chin is tucked into the chest, lengthen out the back of the neck, and then we can close down through the eyes. So now we're breathing into the chest, directly into the heart space, into pure breathing. So this is a back bend. We're working to open up the front line of the body, directing more of the prana into the heart, more energy, breath into the heart space. And we're slowly moving up the body. So as we move into this back bend, we're moving into Prana Value. And Prana Value deals directly with vitality and immunity. So around the thymus gland, which is in the chest center. This is all about taking energy from the outside into the body, using the senses, drawing nourishment from energy, from situations, from people, from life experiences around us into the heart. So it's a lot about internalization and enduring power, finding that love, finding that commitment, that devotion. We're just over halfway through. If you feel quite supported on your bricks and you want to walk the feet out to the end of the mat, you can slowly start taking your feet out long. This is just going to open up into the hip flexor, into the front of the pelvis. That's only if you want to add a bit more of a stretch, which is going to start moving down the whole front line of the body. And if the arms aren't already, you might like to take either cactus arms with elbows bent, or stretch the arms out long, or maybe even hold on to the elbows above the head, if that feels good for your shoulders. Just inviting a little bit more chi flow into the lung, into the heart area. Feet can either rest flat or you can rest your heels down, whichever feels best for you. Last 30 seconds. So just taking your last round of breath here. And then on your next inhale, if you've taken your feet out long, just slowly start to walk your feet in, taking your time. If you've raised your arms over the head, just bringing your hands down to rest beside the hips. We can push down into the feet, push down into the hands and arms, and lift the hips up slightly higher as you exhale. And then take a breath. You can move the bricks or any props out to the side. Take one more inhale, push down into the feet and arms. And as you exhale, curl slowly down the spine so the hips are the last things to touch down onto the mat. Take a moment to pause. Just allow your body to settle for a moment. Notice the breath. And then if it feels good, you can either extend the legs out long, stay here, or bring the knees into the chest. Just take a rebound, minute or so. Any movement that might feel good. So it's really good to work with the values to help bring that sensation of balance, like I was saying, but also shifts and momentum, movement in the body. So as we move through these values, as we balance the values, we can really start to affect the energy of the mind, the emotions. And as we work in these layers, these values, where it's much more easy to affect and specifically affect where it is and what it is that we want to target. Whereas when we're working with the chakras, they're way deeper into the body. So these energy centers of root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown, these are way deeper energetic fields. So the vayu is a really lovely way of shifting the energy. So we're going to work again a little bit higher up. So we're moving to around the throat area now. And we're going to do this through an inversion. So you can either take legs up the wall. If you've got a wall space nearby, you can maybe bring yourself over to a wall and bring either a cushion or one brick underneath your lower back again. Bring your hip to the side of the wall and then spin your legs round as your back comes to the floor. If you don't want to work with the wall, that's perfect. You can take the same setup as you did with your bridge. So on your mat with one brick, maybe this time underneath your lower back, and then just take your legs straight up. And also, if that feels a little bit uncomfortable, if you want to work a little bit lower, if it's the time of the month, or if anything's going on that you don't feel you want to work as strongly, you can just take your legs straight up. You might also want to work with a strap around the feet if you're taking that variation. If you'd like to work a little bit harder, you can come into Viparita Karani, which is supporting the pelvis with the hands. And it's a kind of slanted position. It's a modification for shoulder stand. So I'll show you Viparita Karani. If you want to try that one, you can do that. Just have a look if you're not sure. So if you're taking Viparita Karani, we want to bring the legs into the body. We're going to use momentum, flick the legs up over the head, catch the pelvis with the hands, and then take your hands to act like a basket around the back of the pelvis. Wiggle the elbows in to as close as feels comfortable. And then you can start to shift the weight of the pelvis back into the hands. So your body is almost like a diagonal shape, and the legs are going upward. So you're energizing your feet up towards the ceiling. Then we can find a nice length in the neck. We can feel the balance, and then you can just find a place to rest. But the feet want to kind of energize upward, almost directly over the face, but energizing up. And then to come out, knees come closer to the face. When you feel a tipping point, you can then use your hands to roll yourself out. We're going to be here for, if you're in Viparita Karani, 3 minutes. If your legs up the wall or any other variation, we're going to be there for around 5. So we're about 45 seconds in already. So just allow yourself to close down the eyes again. Arms can be wherever feel good, so out to the side, cactus, or straight up. So noticing this downward movement of energy from the feet to the heart, very, very nourishing for the heart. It allows us to feel a sensation of calmness. It really does slow the blood pressure down as well, because the heart doesn't have to pump as hard to get the blood from the feet back up. So it gives the heart a really, really beautiful rest, and it just allows the circulatory system to move without having to work so hard. If you work at a seat quite a lot of the day, this is a really lovely one to do. I recommend so many people this posture because it cleanses the liver, it cleanses the circulatory system. It brings more chi flow into the torso, the kidneys, the heart, back down into the brain. It's very, very grounding, very nourishing, and it's a nice one to bring stress out of the body as well. So as we've moved now higher up, we're kind of targeting the throat area. So this is now moving into Udana Vayu. And this is an upward forcing movement. So although we're kind of upside down, the movement is still upwards in our physical body. So this could be when we're speaking, it could be to do with vomiting, and it's also this ascent of prana. So when we talk about awakening, or when we're talking about moving into the higher minds where we're going with our meditations, it's all this ascent of prana. So the energy is moving upward, coming out of the lower minds, coming out of the density of the body, and moving up to these higher centers in the throat, third eye, crown, this Udana Vayu movement. So this is linked in with hunger on a spiritual level, on a mental level, on a physical level, expression and confidence to express freely. It's also linked with our spiritual evolution, like I was just saying, that ascension of prana. So we're just here for 1 more minute. Just allow your breath to feel very soft and relaxed for the last minute or so. Allow your heart to relax. Allow your throat to relax. Allow your mind to feel that easing. So we're just taking one final round of breath here. Whenever I'm told to come out of this shape, I always feel like, oh. And that's that sensation of Udana movement, that feeling of vitality, that upward movement of energy from the heart. So just slowly allow yourself on your next inhale to come out. If your legs are up against the wall, you can either walk your feet down, hug your knees into the chest, pause there, and then roll onto a side before coming up back to center. Or you can just roll, if you've got enough space, roll to your side, and then the legs can slowly bend and come into a fetal shape there. If you've not used the wall, just slowly bring your feet flat to the floor, coming into that bridge setup again. Push down into your feet and hands, move the brick or any cushions, any props out to the sides. Take a moment to pause. And we're going to come into Shavasana just for a moment to reset. So wherever you are, just allow yourself to come back into Shavasana, legs out long, arms out to the side, palms up, and just receive, let your body re-assimilate, and just feel the effects of that Udana Vayu, that movement, upward movement of energy. So the last Vayu, last major Vayu is Vyana Value. And this is very integrative. So it's throughout the entire body. It works to blend all of the Vayus together. It works more on the kind of auric field, the energy field around your body, your light body. And it integrates all of the Vayus together. So it's to do with cohesiveness, wholeness, and it really looks at your pranic force field. So this is more working on the lateral sides of the body, and it's kind of tapping into intuitiveness, and being psychically sensitive. So really tuning into when you get a sensation or a knowing, it's building upon that, really feeling into sensitivities and kind of using all of your tools and your sensations in the body to create a clear picture. So you can stay exactly as you are. We're going to move into Bananasana, which is a nice swooping stretch up the sides of the body. So if you keep your pelvis as it is, and we're going to take the right foot off the mat to the side, and then follow the left foot round to the side. So you've got a kind of bend in the legs to the side. Your pelvis stays as it is, and then we can move and shift the upper body over to the right side as well. And bringing your left arm up over the head, resting the back of the arm onto the floor. Take a little bend into the elbow, and then the right hand can rest onto the belly. So feel this sweeping energy from the left foot all the way up to the left fingertips, the left side of the body. And we want to just breathe into the belly, feel a nice heaviness through the body. And just send in all of this pranic flow of energy, Vyana, up the left side body. Again, close down through the eyes and just take in 2 minutes each side. So taking one more round of breath here. You can sweep your left arm down and shift your upper body back to center as you inhale. And then guide your legs back through to the center point. Pause here. Feel nice fluid movement of energy up the whole left side, from the foot to the left side brain. And then going to the opposite side, we can take the feet over to the left side of the mat. Try to keep the ankles together or cross the ankles. And then shift your upper body over to the left side. Your pelvis stays as it is. Left hand to the abdomen, and then the right arm comes up over the head. Just bend in the elbow, place the back of the hand, forearm to the floor, and then send the breath again into the abdomen and right side body. So we have so much untapped chronic potential in the sides of the body, and when we really liberate it by holding and moving into these different areas of the body, we can really liberate and utilize all of this energy. So we're just taking one more round of breath here on this side. And then you can allow your right arm to come back down beside you. Shift your upper body back to center and then take the legs back into center. Just pause and really feel this integration on the right side, from foot to side of the brain. So when we really tap into all 5 values and we're balancing all of these winds in the body, we start to integrate the prana. So it flows into Vyana, and Vyana is cohesively distributing the energy around the body. And when we're in balance, when we're in wholeness, everything is working seamlessly. We're working at our highest version. So if your prana isn't integrated, the mind also won't be whole. And we can't go beyond it. We can't go beyond the limitations of the mind until it's integrated. So we're moving now into our Nidra, now that we have integrated the body, the mind, the winds, and found that balance. We can move into more expansion into the mental capacity, into the subconscious mind, and work to really pull forward our intentions, our heartfelt desires, to start manifesting and creating a more powerful, a more skillful and directed life, working into our highest good, our highest version. So just take a couple of moments to set yourself up. Make sure that you're comfortable. So you might want to bring a bolster underneath the back of the knees. You might want to bring a pillow behind the head. Maybe cover up with, I know it's been quite warm today, but it might be nice to bring a blanket over you just to keep your body temperature nice and regulated. And anything that will help support and prop you. So just take your time coming into a nice comfortable position. So it's really important throughout Nidra that you're very comfortable, that you're feeling really rested, that the body is completely supported, and you stay in stillness. So we want to really drop out of the body, and we're moving way into the subconscious. So the more that you can forget about the body, can forget about external distractions. So even covering the eyes is really good for that, just to block out anything that's surrounding you. Then we can drop deeply into the subconscious. We can start to work on very strong, powerful intentions that will manifest. So be wise with what you're choosing. Nice. So take a final few moments to just let yourself find comfort, find stillness, find space. Feeling supported by the surface your body's resting on. Just allow your eyes to remain gently closed throughout the practice, and take your time to really settle into a position that feels just right. So during Yoga Nidra, you're guided to notice and feel physical sensations, the breath, emotions, thoughts and feelings. So these can be of well-being or joy, and to experience yourself as the witness of all of these comings and goings. Whatever you experience is perfect, just as it is. Now simply rest at ease and follow my guidance, just allowing my voice to become your voice. During Yoga Nidra, welcome every experience as a messenger that's inviting you to explore sensations, emotions, thoughts, without trying to change, fix, or make anything happen. And as you welcome whatever is arising, your body and mind are learning to remain at ease. So while you discover the place within that's always at ease and always peaceful, experience yourself to be unchanging well-being, a witnessing presence that welcomes everything. Now feel your body settling completely into stillness. Bring attention to your senses. Notice the taste in your mouth. The sounds around you. Smells. Images or colours behind your eyelids. The touch of the air on your skin. Your senses open and alive. Bring your mind to your intention for today's practice. How would you like to feel during and as a result of your practice? Maybe you want to work towards something for the month ahead. Perhaps you intend to cultivate a sense of inner peace or joy or well-being. Perhaps relief from physical discomfort, maybe habitual patterns or emotional pain. Your intention can be as simple as to remain alert throughout this entire practice. But whatever it is, allow your intention to emerge fully. And really feel your intention as an ally supporting you to be focused and alert throughout your practice and in your daily life. Affirming this and the feeling of your intention within your entire body and mind. And as we move forward, notice how it supports you during your practice and in your daily life. So take this moment to drop into your heart, solidify and affirm your intention 3 times mentally. Allow your heart's deepest desire to arise within. Something that you want more than anything else in life. This may be a desire for yourself, for another, or for the world around you. Perhaps it's the feeling of being whole, healed, healthy, the feeling of deep self-acceptance, peace, or well-being. Whatever it is, allow this longing to rise up naturally as your deepest heartfelt longing. Whatever it is, welcome and affirm your heartfelt desire in the present tense. Feel it with your entire body as if it's true right now. Then set your desire aside and just notice how it returns, maybe at the end of practice or as you go about in your daily life. Now allow your inner resource to emerge. So this is a special place where you feel supported, secure, and at ease. Perhaps a room or a place in nature, maybe a symbol or imagery of some kind, or the feeling of deep peace from a place you have once been, maybe recalled in memory. Whatever your inner resource is, imagine it using all of your senses, noticing sounds, smells, tastes, colours, shapes that are present. Sensing feelings of security, ease, and well-being as you imagine your inner resource. Experiencing feelings of security within you that are always available at a moment's notice. And as you do this, note in your body where you feel warm and relaxed. Knowing that you can return to this safe, secure place of well-being at any time during your practice or during daily life, whenever you need to feel supported, secure, calm, and at ease. Now let the sound of my voice be your guide and support you in experiencing sensations throughout your body. As I name each area, you may feel sensations that are present or nothing in particular. But whatever you experience is just as it is in this moment. Allow it to be. Mouth. Bring attention to sensations inside the mouth. Roof of the mouth. Floor of the mouth. Inside cheeks, left and right. Back of the throat. Tongue. The entire mouth as a field of sensation. The ears. Left ear. Right ear. Sensing both ears at the same time. Welcoming the breath as pure sensation in the nose. 2 streams of pure breath, a sensation in both nostrils. Left nostril, right nostril. Both nostrils at the same time. The eyes, left eye, right eye. Both eyes together. A field of radiant sensation around both eyes. Sensing forehead, eyebrows, temples, scalp, back of the head and neck, inside the throat. Collarbones, left shoulder, left upper arm, forearm, wrist, left palm, and fingers. The entire left arm. Right shoulder, right upper arm, forearm, wrist, right palm, and fingers, the entire right arm. Both arms together as one field of sensation. Upper chest, upper back, middle chest, middle back, abdomen, lower back, the entire torso as a field of sensation. Left buttock, left hip, thigh, knee, left lower leg, foot and toes. The entire left leg. Right buttock, right hip, thigh, knee, right lower leg, foot and toes. The entire right leg. Sensing both legs at the same time. Sensing the entire front of the body, back of the body, left side, whole right side, sensing the entire body. Sensing the entire body, inside and outside, as a field of radiant sensation. And be aware of all that is now present in your awareness. Feeling yourself as the one who is aware of everything that's present. First, sensing what's present. Then experiencing yourself as the field of awareness in which everything is coming and going. Become aware of the body breathing in. The flow of the breath as sensation in the nostrils. The abdomen gently rising as breath flows in and releasing as breath flows out. No need to change anything. The body breathing naturally and rhythmically. In breath, abdomen rising. Out breath, abdomen releasing. No need to change anything. The body is breathing itself. Begin counting each breath silently backwards from 7 to 1 in the following manner. In breath, abdomen rising 7. Out breath, abdomen releasing 7. In breath, abdomen rising 6. Out breath, abdomen releasing 6. Continue counting and breathing in your body's own natural rhythm. If you lose count, begin again at 7. Breathing, counting, and being with everything just as it is. Now let go of counting with no need to reach 1. And be aware of the fields or flows of sensations throughout the body. In the mouth, face, scalp, neck, throat, shoulders, arms, hands, torso, pelvis, legs, and feet. Awake and alert, the body a field of radiant sensation. And be aware of all that's now present in your awareness. Again, feeling yourself as the one who is aware of everything that's now present. Sensing what's present. Then experiencing yourself dissolving into being the field of awareness in which everything is arising. Remember that anytime you experience the need to feel secure and at ease, you can return to your inner resource at a moment's notice. Now bring attention to feelings that are present throughout the body, such as warmth or coolness, heaviness or lightness, comfort or discomfort, allowing them to blossom fully into your body. And if no feelings are present, as that may happen, simply welcoming whatever is present. If it's helpful, locate the opposite of whatever you're feeling. If you're feeling warmth, find coolness. Heaviness, find lightness. Comfort, find discomfort. Welcoming an opposite of feeling fully into the body. Now welcome both opposites of feelings into the body at the same time. Without thinking, simply experience how doing this affects your body and mind. Now bring attention to an emotion that is present in your body, or one that you are working with in your life. Or recall a memory that invites a particular emotion into the body. No judgment, allow whatever comes to arrive, welcoming the emotion as sensation into your body. Inviting this emotion to unfold fully as sensation in the body. And if no emotion is present, there's no need to make anything happen. Simply welcoming whatever is present. If an emotion is present, where are you feeling it in your body? Allowing it to blossom fully while welcoming thoughts, images, or memories that co-arise with this emotion. And if it's helpful, allow an opposite emotion to emerge. Perhaps recalling a memory that invites the opposite emotion into your body. Where do you experience it in your body? Taking your time, welcoming this opposite of emotion. And now moving back and forth several times between opposite emotions. Experiencing the first, then the other, sensing how each is experienced in the body. Now inviting both emotions into awareness at the same time. Without thinking, simply experiencing how this affects your entire body and mind. And be aware of all that is now present in your awareness. Feeling yourself as the one who is aware of everything that's now present. Sensing what's present. Then experiencing yourself as the field of awareness in which everything is arising. Remembering that there's no right or wrong way of doing any of this, and that you're welcome to return to your inner resource at any time. Welcome a thought or belief that you sometimes fall into or take to be true about yourself. Welcome a thought or belief that you sometimes fall into or take to be true about yourself. And if no belief is arising, simply being with whatever is present. If there is a belief present, as you hold this belief about yourself to be true, where and how do you feel it in your body? Sensing how this belief affects the entire body. No judgment, simply observing what is arising. Noticing any images, emotions, or thoughts that co-arise with this belief without trying to change anything. If it's helpful, bring to mind the opposite of this belief. And as you hold this opposite belief about yourself to be true, how does it affect your body? Welcoming any images, emotions, or memories that also emerge. Being present to your experience just as it is without trying to change or fix anything. And now, in your own rhythm, alternate several times between these opposites of belief. Welcoming the first one as true, then the other. Experiencing how each belief acts upon your body and the mind. Now welcome both beliefs at the same time, while experiencing how this affects your body and the mind. And be aware of all that is now present in your awareness. Feeling yourself as the one who is aware of everything that's now present, sensing what's present, and then experiencing yourself as the field of awareness in which everything is arising. Be attentive to sensations throughout your body of pleasure, happiness, joy, or well-being, or perhaps recall a particular event from your life that invites these feelings of pleasure, joy, or well-being into your body right now. Welcoming whatever emerges just as it is. Perhaps experiencing the sensation of joy as an inner smile that radiates from your heart. The heart smiling. And this smile of sensation expanding throughout your entire body. Flowing out into your torso, arms and hands. Down into the pelvis, legs and feet. Flowing up into the head and face. Mouth, lips and eyes smiling, the entire body smiling. Radiant and alive with a feeling of joy or well-being, or a sense of being okay just as you are. Again, be aware of all that is now present in your awareness. Feeling and knowing yourself as the one who is aware of everything that's now present. Sensing what's present, then experiencing yourself as the field of awareness in which everything is arising. Dissolving into being pure awareness itself, open and spacious. Being awareness in which everything is coming and going. Awareness in which everything is welcome just as it is. Being awareness and reflecting upon all that has been or is now present. Sensations, emotions, beliefs, joy, well-being, the experience of being pure awareness. Everything just as it is. Yourself just as you are. Now come back to your inner resource, your place of safety, security, and well-being. Noticing your breathing, easy and rhythmic. Forehead at ease and cool. Belly, hands and feet warm and at ease. And now bring to your mind your intention for this practice. Perhaps even noticing the formation of an intention for your next practice. Recall your heartfelt desire as a resonance of sensation in your body, experiencing it as an accomplished fact in this moment. Believe it to be true. Your heartfelt desire. And imagine going about your daily life, noticing sensations, emotions, and thoughts, all constantly changing, yet all the while feeling yourself as unchanging, spacious awareness in which everything is coming and going. Now taking your time, transitioning to your alert and wide awake state of wakefulness, sensing your body, the room around you. Wiggling your fingers and toes. Turning the head side to side. Swallowing or licking the lips. Eyes opening whenever you feel ready. Moving your body in any ways that feel good. Reorienting to where you are and where you are going. Coming fully alert and wide awake. Take a moment before ending this practice to experience the feeling of gratitude for taking time to practice Yoga Nidra. Welcoming and loving yourself, experiencing yourself as timeless, open and spacious well-being that is perfect just as it is, and yourself as whole, healthy and perfect just as you are. Yourself as unchanging, spacious awareness in which everything is unfolding, and the understanding that you are always know the perfect response in each moment as you take the time to welcome your deepest knowing. Offer gratitude to yourself and to this practice. Namaste. So you can either stay and lie down for a little bit longer if you feel quite comfortable, or just take your time to come up to a seat. You might, if you're in bed, go straight to bed from here. But either way, just make sure that you take your time to transition. And I'm going to end the class here just to let you finish however feels good for you. Maybe taking time to journal or note down what came up for you, and just to maybe even bring your intention back into manifestation physically by putting the pen to paper. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a beautiful rest of your evening and week ahead, and I'll see you next week. Lots of love.